Welcome to another manga versus anime comparison. On today's episode, that is episode 85, Mappa used the chapter 128 of the manga and chapter 123 is not animated yet, so if you're anime only, be sure to don't read it. Now beginning with the comparison, Mappa added this effect to show the point of view of Magat as he's watching the position of the Jaguarist and also where the flying boat is located. When Hangi is explaining to Magat that the Jaguarist will destroy the flying boat if they discover their plan, there's a panel showing the members of the Alliance preparing their gear. In the anime, Mappa used two different takes for this scene, changing a bit what each character was doing at the moment, since Mappa shows characters when they were already standing, while in the manga they show them while they were on their knees still. When Annie explains the plan to the group, Armin and Mikasa seem more sad about doing it in the manga. Also Armin is seen touching his shin with his hand. When Onyankopon explains why they need the Asumabito for their plan, in the manga we see the flying boat completely. In the anime they don't directly show it, since it's covered by something. When Onyankopon says that he doesn't know how it will take to prepare the flying boat, he mentions the Asumabito, and on this scene, Mikasa stares at the place where her Asumabito tattoo is located. In the manga this isn't clearly explained, and we see Mikasa's face, a very nice add-on by Mappa I think, and probably a suggestion of Isayama himself. In the moment when Jan is replying to Annie about his position about getting ex-comrades, the manga used a closer angle for this scene, while Mappa focusing using a previous manga panel, where we can also see Armin and Connie. This scene of Annie talking with Armin had different angles and small changes. Personally I prefer the manga version in this case. Connie's reaction to the situation felt more natural in the manga. In the anime I didn't feel the tension in the way that he appears here. But after Annie replies to him, the reaction in the anime felt more natural now. During the manga flashback we couldn't see Eren's face completely. In the anime instead we can see completely Eren as a way to give us some Eren moments, since he has disappeared since a few episodes ago already. When Jan says if a Titan rampage is really necessary to solve everything, the manga shows Armin and Mikasa. In the manga, Armin had his eyes closed. Also, Mikasa's panel was cut from this scene, and everything was just ignored. For this scene, when Hange mentions how she estimates that the Titans are already arriving at Marley, the reaction of everyone seems better shown in the manga than in the anime, since some expressions like the one of Pik and Annie seem a bit out of context, to be honest. When Magat speaks to Reiner, Annie and Pik, their positions were modified, or I think it's something of the perspective improved by Mappa. They even changed the way that their faces look, so I think it was a nice improvement made by the studio. When Flock speaks to Kiyomi about his plans to wipe out Chizuru, in the anime we see Kiyomi as she's held hostage. In the manga we see Flock talking during this moment, but the anime deletes this panel. When Armin and Connie run into the flying boat, they get down from their horses before they reach the place. In the manga instead, they go riding their horses until Samuel and Das tell them to stop. The manga panel of this scene was left off by Mappa, and they used a generic animation in this moment. When Connie and Armin are trying to explain the situation and get on the flying boat, Mappa used close-ups to add more tension to the scene as we are used to see in this season. When Flock is thinking of what Armin said, the manga had different panels to show the situation, one focusing Kiyomi, but Mappa kept all the focus in showing Flock as he was talking to himself in the anime. This panel didn't appear in this part of the anime, that occurs moment before the gunshots are heard and we see Kiyomi rubbing Flock's arm. When the gunshots are heard by Armin and Connie, Mappa used once again their classic closer angle to display even more the tension that both Armin and Connie are feeling. When Mikasa jumps through the window and defeats a pair of Jaguarists, she hits the second one with a gun, but the angle was slightly changed in the anime. Also this moment has a change of angle, and also that face looks more scary in the anime than in the manga. When Samuel mentions what Connie said in the past about getting so much land and eating meat together, there's a flashback showing everyone with Sasha. In the anime they didn't show this moment. And the anime also added these two scenes of Reiner and Annie using their ODM gear to get behind Flock as they transform into their respective titans. We can see Annie is using her ring and Reiner biting his hand to transform, and this doesn't appear in the manga. After Reiner and Annie transform, the manga had one panel to show them in their cool pose. The anime added two different frames for each one of them after they transform, although later they show this cool frame with both of them and some amazing 4K debris. When Annie transformed into the female titan, she killed the first soldier in a different way than in the anime. In the anime she crushes him with her hand, while in the manga she hits him in a similar way that Reiner does. And this isn't a comparison really, but I gotta give my cheers to Mappa for this amazing quality of the animation of this moment. It really reminds me of the quality of with the studio ODM animations. The scenes that I'm showing now are extra scenes added by MAPPA. The first one is of the Armored Titan beating the shit out of some Jaggeries, and the other one of Annie kicking some soldiers. After the scene of the female and Armored Titan, there's two small panels in the manga. First showing the situation where Hangi is with Magat and Jan, and the other one showing Flock and the Jaggeries trying to fight against the Titans. When Connie grabs Samuel's gun in the manga, he's shown from a different angle, and we can also listen to him screaming stop to Connie before he shoots Das. MAPPA added this previous frame from a closer angle that makes the pace feel faster, since the gunshot is seen from a very closer perspective than in the manga. The anime also used the manga panel when Connie shoots, but this extra part, it makes everything feel more sudden and shocking. After Connie kills Das, MAPPA added frames showing Connie's and Samuel's face before he starts shooting him multiple times. In the manga also he's screaming while shooting Samuel. So this last part of this video hasn't anything to do with my channel, but I wanted to use this small space to talk a bit about a friend. His name was Yin, and sadly he passed away this Friday. I don't have words to describe how shocked, sad and broken I feel about this situation. And these days have been very hard for me and everyone who knew him. He was a really nice and good person. I already said in some way goodbye to him on my Instagram account, that is my personal account, but I also wanted to dedicate some words to Jin on my YouTube channel. He used to be a very competitive gamer who spent hours and hours grinding and talking with me and other buddies on Discord. He played a lot of Valorant lately and even reached Diamond in no time. He was really talented at FPS games. One thing that Jin used to do a lot with a huge talent and passion was writing music. He expressed a lot of his ideals and stuff through his music. And for the end of this video I will add his last music video that is called Se Siente, as a way to pay tribute to my friend. So rest in peace, my dear friend, and I hope to see you again someday. You will always be in our heart and I miss you.
Próxima semana, deja el drama, no estamos pa' drama. Nosotros realmente no andamos buscando fama. Ya va tiempo, empezamos en pijama. Se siente que va lento, le damos con más ganas. Como el viento me muevo por la rama. Soy el hierro que forman esta barra. Las barras de esta prisión ya me tienen jodido. Independiente de lo que pase, yo estoy para lo mío. Me han apuntado incluso de mí, a veces se han reído. Solo son pollitos que tienen hambre, dicen pillo. Los mismos que solo por frío buscan un abrigo. Al final no sirve de nada hacerte el frío. El mundo se está congelando por ese vacío. Y después no vengamos con que yo nunca he sido. Dime, no, ¿cuándo acaba el sufrimiento? No me llames más, ya tuviste tu momento. Dímelo, papá, necesito un poco de aliento. No existe verdad, por eso nunca te miento. Me miro y como el malo me estoy torturando. Quiero salir a flote, ya me estoy hartando. Pensando en ese culo ya te estoy llamando. Y toda la mierda mala la estoy rechazando porque quiero volver a estar flotando. Cargando todo el peso me estoy esforzando. Mi conciencia es una fruta, está madurando. Y mi esencia sigue intacta, la estoy conservando. Somos los mismos de siempre. Ya no pienso en esa mierda, ya no tengo 20. Quizás me veo diferente. Quizás es el espejo que solo te miente. El reloj sigue avanzando. El tiempo ya se está acabando. El mundo se está terminando. No entiendo por qué están llorando. Si todo esto es por nuestra culpa, no existe lugar ya para pedir disculpas. Hemos matado lo que un día tú y yo soñamos. Nos acostumbramos a la puta mala junta. Si sabes la respuesta, ¿por qué la pregunta? A veces no sé qué pensar, es que me asusta esa pistola del rencor con lo que apunta, sabiendo que mi alma ya es difunta. Sigo acostándome toda la mañana pensando en qué canción haré la próxima semana. Deja el drama, no estamos pa' drama. Nosotros realmente Soy el hierro que forman estas balas.